Welcome to the Israel Daily News Podcast. I'm your host, Shanna Folds, and I'm here to get you caught up quickly. I've got some top news stories for you today from Israel, and guess what? You're listening, so you're already on top of your game. Survive and thrive, people. Knowledge is the best weapon. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025 in the Gregorian calendar, and the 25th of Elul in the Hebrew calendar. Monday is Rosh Hashanah, and I will be hosting immigrants and internationals in Tel Aviv for a festive holiday meal, and the Israel Daily News will resume regular programming on Thursday after the holiday is fully out. We will be updating social media and our website in between the holiday times. Now, let's get to the news. I've just walked back into the home following a timeout in from the protected space. 2 missiles were sent from Yemen. There have been quite a few lately, including one that woke us all up at 3:45 in the morning just days ago. So far, I understand that one of the 2 that just came in has been intercepted. However, a drone reportedly struck Eilat after warning sirens sounded out across the city. Witnesses and online footage show the impact was at the entrance to a hotel. Security and medical responders arrived quickly, though it's not yet known if there were injuries from that. The Houthis in Yemen have repeatedly launched drones at Israel in recent months, and for years, with Eilat frequently targeted. Meanwhile, over in Lebanon, the IDF says it has launched a series of airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in the southern area following earlier warnings that were issued to residents of several towns in that area to evacuate. 2 Israelis were killed in a shooting attack reported at the Allenby Crossing on the Israel-Jordan border. According to the rescue organization Zaka, 2 men were neutralized at the scene. The IDF confirmed a, quote, hot hammer security alert was declared at the Allenby Crossing. An initial investigation indicates that the Allenby Crossing attack was carried out by a single assailant who opened fire and then went on a stabbing spree. The attacker emerged from a humanitarian aid truck in the cargo terminal and surprised an IDF escort unit before being shot by terminal security guards. That being the shooter was shot. The Jordanian government spokesperson said Amman is also monitoring reports of this incident on the Israeli side of the crossing. Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara told reporters in Damascus that ongoing negotiations may lead to a security pact with Israel in the coming days. Syria hopes these talks will prevent future Israeli airstrikes and the withdrawal of Israeli troops from southern Syria. This came out during U.S.-mediated talks that are being held in London. The U.S. is pressuring Syria to come to an agreement before the gathering of world leaders in New York for the UN General Assembly. Shara says if he can agree on the terms with Israel, other security deals could be reached between the 2 countries in the future. An IDF prosecutor is going to indict a lieutenant colonel of negligence in the deaths of a civilian archaeologist and an IDF soldier in Lebanon last November. Yoav Yarom, the lieutenant colonel at the center of the case, had escorted civilian archaeologist Zev Jabo, as they called him, Hanon Ehrlich, and soldier Gur Kahati into hostile territory in Lebanon without higher IDF approval. Lieutenant Colonel Yarom and other officers were wounded during the same incident in which Zev Ehrlich wanted to perform certain unauthorized archaeological examinations. He was a known tour guide and archaeological expert in Israel. Shortly after that incident, Lieutenant Colonel Yarom resigned from the IDF shortly after the occasion due to his role of approving that mission, though this was beyond his authority. The family of Gur Kahati is praising the decision to bring Lieutenant Colonel Yarom to trial. The IDF has announced that 4 soldiers were killed and 3 others injured in a roadside bomb attack this morning in southern Gaza's Rafah. The fallen are Major Omri Chai Ben Moshe, 26 years old, from Tzafria, Lieutenant Eran Shalem, 23, from Ramat Yohanan, Lieutenant Eitan Avner Ben Itzrak, 22, from Har Bracha, and Lieutenant Ron Arieli, 20, from Hadera, all served with Bahad 1st Dekel Battalion with Ben Moshe as a company commander, and the 3 cadets posthumously promoted to lieutenant. An initial assessment by the IDF indicates the attack occurred around 9:30 a.m. in Rafah's Janina neighborhood during operations against terrorists. A D9 armored bulldozer was clearing a route with 2 Humvees following. One Humvee veered to the roadside and hit an explosive device planted by terrorists there. Of the wounded, 1 is in serious condition and 2 are moderately injured. We here at the Israel Daily News Podcast send our heartfelt condolences to the families, friends, and communities affected by this tragic news. I want to thank all of you for your interest in Israeli affairs, Israeli politics, our world politics. I also want to thank all of you who personally finance and fund the Israel Daily News Podcast with monthly contributions. You can support us with contributions by going over to our website, israeldailynews.org, and clicking on sponsor. The Patreon link is over there, and you can send us a monthly donation using the Patreon link. There's also an option for a one-time donation. Our organization is operational thanks to listeners and supporters like you. Thank you to Marianne Vollinger for her monthly support. In response for your contributions, I'll send over a handwritten thank you note to show my appreciation. Follow us on social media at israeldaily.news. We're on X, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Our page is about to hit 40,000 followers. You can also follow my personal page at Shanna Fold. My name has 2 N's in it, and I'm very sensitive about that. During Monday's podcast, we mentioned that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio took part in the inauguration of the Pilgrimage Road, but didn't really get into what kind of event that was. We had other pressing news to share, but it came up again for me personally at the Jerusalem Post conference in Jerusalem on Tuesday, and that's where I learned a bit more about this, more than I already knew. And actually, it was during an interview with U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee when I got more details. I hosted 2 panels that day, not with the ambassador, but I listened to the ambassador. Pilgrim's Road was a hidden piece of history that became uncovered in time. Pilgrimage Road is a 1st century era route in the city of David, linking an ancient rock-cut pool called the Pool of Siloam to the foot of the Temple Mount. So these 2 locations. People used to walk this route. The road runs about 600 meters, which is a third of a mile, and now that road is open end to end. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee attended the event, along with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ambassador Huckabee designated this as an American heritage site, not just an Israeli site. Let's see a clip of Ambassador Huckabee discussing the momentous event.
Secretary of State, the U.S. Ambassador, joining with the Prime Minister, we dedicate it as an American heritage site, not just as an Israeli site. So I don't know what else we could do to be more clear that we believe that Jerusalem is the undisputed and undivided capital of the Jewish state and the historic site of the state of Israel.
While parts of the road had previously been accessible, the Israel Antiquities Authority's recent excavation now allows visitors to walk its full length. As part of the ceremony, Rubio removed a temporary wall near the southern wall excavations to formally open the path to the Temple Mount. Since Rosh Hashanah last year, Israel has welcomed 21,244 new immigrants, marking a 34% decrease from 32,140 during the same period the previous year, according to the Immigration and Absorption Ministry. The sharpest decline came from Russia, where arrivals fell by more than half, from 19,407 to 9,282. Immigration from the United States also dropped by roughly 10% to 2,910, while Aliyah from France rose about 20%, reaching 2,640 new newcomers. Despite the overall decrease, Immigration and Absorption Minister Ophir Sofer is praising those who made the move, saying their decision to immigrate amid ongoing war and conflict is inspiring. He noted that thousands of Jews around the world chose this year to leave their home and come to Israel, their new home, showing their trust and solidarity with the nation. Looking ahead, however, demographers project a significant uptick in Aliyah from other places like the U.S. and France during the secular year 2025. Part of today's news has been powered by our partner, Bernie News Network, or BNN. For fast and precise updates, join BNN on WhatsApp and Telegram at their website, bernie.news. And now for a Torah thought and message from Rabbi Yossi Madvig of Oswego, New York, for the new year.
It should be written and inscribed for a happy and sweet new year. We are almost at Rosh Hashanah, but this Thursday, I assume today if you're listening to this, is not Rosh Hashanah. However, it is the 25th of the month of Elul. And many people are unaware that Rosh Hashanah, although we say it celebrates the creation of the world, right? It's this many years since creation. But the truth is that Rosh Hashanah actually celebrates the creation of mankind, which was, if you read Genesis, Bereshit, it's on the 6th day of creation, which means, if you count back the 6 days, that the creation of the world is on the 25th of the month of Elul. And so, what message does this have for us? As I mentioned last week, we are taking an accounting of our year, especially in these last few days of Elul, where every day represents a month, and as we come to the week of Rosh Hashanah, every day represents the days of the week, right? So Monday, we're thinking about all the Mondays we had in the year, and Tuesday, all the Tuesdays, and so on and so forth, until we get to Rosh Hashanah. But when we're making that accounting, a lot of times people want to look back at the year and say, well, was it a good year? Was it a bad year? Did I get a new job? Or did this election go the way I wanted it? Or did this good thing happen? Did that bad thing happen? And, how can we make the world, how can we make sure that things better happen in the future? But the truth is, that's not taking an accounting of your year. Right? What is Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah is the creation of mankind, not the creation of the world. What happens in the world is what happens in the world. By and large, we don't have any kind of control over the general events that happen around us. What do we have control over? How we react to those events. What is our response? Do we take the good things that happen and do we build on them and use them to their greatest potential? When something negative happens, do we take lessons from that and improve and figure out how we can be better as people? So as you do your accounting, as we come to Rosh Hashanah, think about your past year and think about, did you use the events of the year, the events of your life, to its fullest potential? Did you take the negative events and did you learn from them and grow from them and think about how you can improve those responses for the coming year? So I wish you all a very happy, healthy, and sweet new year and a Shabbat Shalom.
All right. Well, that is it for today's show. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Tel Aviv has a low of 27 degrees Celsius and a high of 29 degrees. That's 80 degrees Fahrenheit for the low, going up to 85 degrees for the high. We are everywhere. Don't forget to sign up to our Israel Weekly News Wrap. The Israel Weekly News Wrap is a newsletter with the top 5 stories coming out of Israel from throughout the week, and of course with a personal note from me at the top. You can sign up for that at israeldailynews.org. I'll send you off with a song called Yehiye Tov. It's a cover song done by Morty Weinstein, Nicole Raviv, Idan Tomler, and it translates in English to "It will be good." Let's enter our new year with that in mind. Enjoy this song and have a great and productive day and an excellent weekend. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Chag Sameach, Shana Tova Umetuka. Have a sweet new year, and we will see you back here at the Israel Daily News in a week.
בסוף זה רק אני ואת פה, בסוף היום יש שקט באוטו, החדשות עברו ליד האוזן, ואמרנו תודה על עוד יום לא, מנסים לכבוש את העולם רק, לנקות את הלב מהאבק, עוצרים בצד הדרך, מסתכלת בעיניים שאני אומר לה, גם אם יישרף הכסף, נשב ונצחק במרפסת, אני ואת והשקט, לא צריך כלום קרן שמש, גם אם ייקח לנו זמן, תראי שהכל מכוון, נשב מסביב לשולחן, אני מבטיח לך שבסוף יהיה טוב, הפרחים ישובו לפרוח, תראי שיהיה טוב, יהיה טוב, גם אם יש עוד